Hello, welcome to the Hard Folk Podcast. My name is Matt Gower. Today I am joined by Elizabeth Royall. We talked about both sides of the music industry, I guess you could say. We talked about the entrepreneurial aspect of it and the business aspect of things and how to reconcile that with the artistic side of the music industry, the writing and the creation. So we had a great talk, and Elizabeth will be playing at Art House Cafe as a part of CKCU Presents Friday Night Folk July 10th. Alongside of Graven as well. So that should be a great show. And here is our talk. Hello, welcome to the Hard Folk Podcast. Elizabeth Royall, thanks for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me.
You are going to be playing at the CKCU Presents Friday Night Folk on July 10th alongside of Graven. So I'm really happy to have you here and to have you playing that show. What can folks expect from an Elizabeth Royall live show?
Well, with an acoustic show, I definitely like to take a more intimate approach at it. I love to tell the stories behind each song and kind of just show where the inspiration comes from.
Cool, very cool. It's always nice to hear the background of songs. Now, last year you were selected for SOCAN's 2025 TD Incubator for Creative Entrepreneurship, which is a mouthful. Can you tell me about that experience?
Yeah, it was really cool. There were like multiple workshop sessions. I think it was like twice a month where we would get in the group on a Zoom call and learn about like either how to understand royalties, um, understanding like legal sides of things, finances, like how to make money in music, depending on like what we wanted to learn. And then we also had one-on-one mentorship sessions. I think there were three mentors that you would choose out of a list, and you would
Hmm.
have a one-on-one meeting with them, and you got to pick whoever and like decide what kind of questions and things you wanted to talk about. I think it was like a 1 hour session, so you had a lot of time to really talk to each of them and kind of like build a relationship if it worked out that way. And yeah, it was nice because I had like a little community out of that. So yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, and I was just looking at all the different people involved, and it was all across the country. There, were, like from BC to the East Coast and all the way in between. So that was really cool. And did you kind of have an awareness of the entrepreneurship aspect of being a musician going in?
I had like some awareness, but I definitely felt like it was something I was lacking, which is why like I applied to do it. And there's still some things like I want to learn more about. I think the like royalty and revenue side is something a little bit complicated that a lot of people, especially small artists, and being from Ottawa, which isn't like a super like career music place, yet. Hopefully it'll be someday. I think we're working on that, but no, it feels like I definitely got a lot out of it and like learning where the revenue comes from. Like, for example, I didn't know that there was like I knew there were different royalties, but I didn't know that there were all these different revenues that you had to like submit applications to and kind of like understand where to get your money from. So that's something that's a little bit more complicated that artists aren't really taught unless you like enter those programs or you know where to look.
Yeah, and so that definitely gave you a leg up going into your career. Now, being an independent musician is really it is a sales job if you think about it. How do you reconcile your artistic goals with the reality that you have to be constantly hustling and promoting yourself?
It's definitely hard. I think it's like a balance I'm still learning to like figure out. I think a lot of times I go through like phases or seasons where I'm really focused on like the entrepreneur side of it and like trying to get everything. Like right now like putting out my debut EP this Friday. So like the
Hmm.
last like 6 months have just been a lot of like the entrepreneur stuff, which isn't so much fun. Like figuring out like royalty splits and like copyright and all that stuff. It's not fun. It takes time and you have to like know what you're doing. So I've been doing a lot of research on that side of stuff and like talking to lawyers and all this stuff. So it's not fun and it costs money. So this is the part that like as a small artist I hate doing. But
Yes.
the music is out and then once the music is out there's a lot of like promoting to do and batch content creation and all that. So that takes a lot of time as well. But I'm hoping that like soon I'll be back into the writing process, which is truly what I do it all for. It's what I enjoy the most. And getting back in the studio is a lot of fun as well. But yeah, I would say like I definitely do it like in seasons. So I should be done with the part of the legal aspect this week, which is the sucky part. And then I'm excited to get back into the creative part. And even with like creating content, it can be nice to like insert some creativity into that too. I've had some fun with it. So
Yeah, I've noticed you've been you're pretty prolific on Instagram. I don't know about TikTok or anything like that, but is do you enjoy doing that, or do you do it because of necessity? A little bit of both.
a little bit of both. I think I've learned to enjoy certain aspects of it. Like a lot of people hate the editing part of it. I
Hmm.
actually like the editing part more than I like the filming part, which is interesting.
Okay.
I think it's because I can do the editing in my PJs. Like I can literally just like sit there and have my TV show on and do the editing all day. Like in my PJs, I can be comfy. I don't have to like put on a performer face or anything. So I think that's what I kind of enjoy that I can do it from anywhere. I can do it outside. I can kind of enjoy it without like being like on TikTok looking at trends and like trying to figure out what I'm like that part is not as much fun for me. Although I have enjoyed like in the last release cycle, like just wearing like outfits and kind of going creative with the makeup, like the glitter tears I've been doing and stuff like that. It's been kind of fun to like figure out how to be creative in creating. Which is a funny thing to say because like you would think that being creative is part of creating, but I feel like with content for a long time for me, it was really just like forced and like do whatever everyone else is doing to try to like blow up. But I'm kind of trying to take it from a more artistic point of view now, I guess.
Yeah. So how do you differentiate yourself from the rest?
That's something that I think like I'm still figuring out. I've definitely like got my sound really nailed down, and which is why I'm like putting out this project now. I think the biggest thing for me has been just like not trying to be someone else, which is something I did for a long time. Like when I was really into Billie Eilish, I was really like trying to mimic her voice and like her writing and now I feel like I've kind of become my own person and I'm trying to like figure out what that looks like from like a visual identity perspective and I'm trying to just go with what feels good rather than what everyone else is doing and what is trending right now.
Sure, yeah, and yeah, like looking at how you present yourself and listening to your music, you're very different from Billie Eilish, I would say. What was it about Billie Eilish that kind of caught your ear and your interest?
I think she was just like I got into her before that style of singing became popular. So it felt like something very new and fresh to me. And I was like, wow, I want to do something that feels that fresh and that new. But I think it caught on very quickly. And a lot of people started kind of like going with that style as it became popular. And I was like, okay, I need to branch out and figure out what I want to sound like and not try to keep mimicking all these other artists.
So how did you go about discovering yourself?
Um, I think part of it was like branching out to the type of music that I listened to. Like I was very focused on like at first it was country and then it was like pop music and indie pop and eventually I got into like 70s to 90s music and that's where I really felt like it was something sustainable that I would love for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
I have not gotten tired of this type of music, and it's something that feels very like at home for me when I'm on stage performing like Fleetwood Mac, for example, or the
Hmm.
Berries. I really do feel like I never get tired of singing those songs. I feel like there's some covers that you do and you do them a couple times and you're like, I'm so done with this. But every time I do Gold Dust Woman, I feel so good about it and I love it so much and it has like the energy that I feel most comfortable with. I'm not like pretending to be like this pop girl who runs around on stage.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's like the biggest thing for me has been figuring out what feels most like me, not just when I'm on stage pretending to be Elizabeth Royal. Like I want to feel like I am Elizabeth Royal and not like separating these two people.
Sure, sure. And you said Fleetwood Mac, like 70s and 90s. What drew you to those artists?
I would say during the pandemic, my dad has this like amazing stereo system at his house. And he would play like Nirvana a lot.
Hmm.
like grungier music, and I like really got into it, and there's just a lot of like nice memories associated to it. And
Sure.
then I had like a studio session when I was about 17 in Toronto, and they were like, you should do a cover of Dumb by Nirvana, which is like so different from what I would normally do. But it was a lot of fun, and like just like kind of like figuring out a new way to sing it and perform it. I just like felt like this was kind of something cool that I could do, where like take these older songs and kind of make them my own. And I just kept like listening to more stuff, and I'm not really sure what brought me to Fleetwood Mac, but like I just obviously started with like the Rumors album, which is everyone
Yeah.
knows that one.
Yeah.
And I kind of started like going backwards and backwards and backwards, and I was like, wow, this stuff is so weird and so cool. And I was like, I like music that like is kind of weird. Like it's like if you listen to the Tusk album from Fleetwood Mac, it's insane. It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
Well, they
It's
have a
all
marching band and
yeah, it's insane. And I was like, it might not be mainstream, but I think it's timeless because it's so interesting and weird.
yeah, I totally agree. Timeless is a good word, especially for Fleetwood Mac, because yeah, they're huge in the 70s, but their sound you can't like plug that into like like a 70s AM radio. It works wherever you listen to it, and it's really good music. And I can hear that definitely. I could hear the Fleetwood Mac. I forget your latest single. What was it called again?
Shattered.
Shattered. Yeah, from the first like notes, I could hear the Fleetwood Mac in it. I was like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. So now one thing that I ask a lot of pretty much all my guests who are songwriters is, who is someone in your life that was a personal influence to get you to perform and to play and to write music?
I would say like my first influence was my older sister. Um, we have like 8 years apart. I was probably like 4 years old when she started to teach me to sing. She loved singing. And she like made this whole binder for me with a bunch of song lyrics, and a lot of times I couldn't even read them. Young, but I like memorized the songs by heart, and she would like teach me and be like, no, you got to sing it like this, or like faster, or this is the right lyric. Or she was very strict teacher too, probably the strictest I've ever had, but she like really encouraged me to keep going. And probably the first song I wrote, she was like, wow, that's terrible. But I didn't stop. I didn't stop, and they got better. And I knew that from her reactions that I was getting better, because she was very harsh. So if she liked something, it's because I was doing a good job. But and then seeing her like just perform on stage as well, and like in the living room, she would wear her cowboy boots and her cowboy hat and like do her little performance, and my parents would like rate her and be like, okay, you should do this. We were a weird family. We were very like artsy, but my parents weren't, yet they were very good at sitting down and like being the audience members and being like, you should work on this and you should work on this. And I really wanted to be like her. So yeah, she was definitely my first inspiration.
That's neat, and I think that siblings are definitely can be the toughest judges of your work, no matter
Oh,
what it is, whether they mean to or not.
yeah.
Now you said you have an EP coming out. Now we're recording this. Today is what is today? Today's like the 17th or something.
Yeah.
This will probably air next week, but so it'll already be out by the time people listen to it. You see an angel is your EP that's coming out. Do you have a concept behind this EP, or is it? Tell me a bit about it.
Yeah, it's really weird. I feel like it all happened very quickly, even though it was over the span of multiple years.
Hmm.
You See an Angel is the title track of the EP, and I actually wrote it last. It was the last song that I wrote. And at the time, I didn't have this concept when I wrote it. I just wrote the song, and I was like, wow, this is like the feeling I've been trying to write about for years. And it was like I had already written a song about this angel feeling before, but it didn't really like give what I wanted it to. And after I wrote that, I was like, I realized that every song I had written in the last few years could be encompassed by this concept, which is that when I was a kid, my sisters used to joke that I was the angel child because I like was super responsible. I never rebelled. I was very mature, took care of everyone around me. And as I got older, that like term just started to really bother me because I was like, I want to be kind of a mess sometimes and I want to do stupid things, but people have all these expectations of me to be always mature and okay, and to the point that like no one really checks in to see like, hey, are you okay? Like do you need any guidance or anything? Like I always felt like I was kind of on my own for a lot of stuff. And so each of the songs in the EP kind of show how I am a mess sometimes and I do the wrong things and I hang out with people that I shouldn't hang out with. And, I went through all these phases that I felt kind of alone through because people just thought I had it together all the time.
That's neat. How how was it produced?
This is actually really fun because we did it with the full band live in the studio in Toronto.
Okay.
So the songs were like done in one take. Lead vocals were pretty much all done in one take, and then the background vocals I did from home in the closet.
Hmm. That's a
So
good spot. That's an
yeah,
underrated spot to record vocals because all your clothes dampen all the echoes.
yeah, yeah, and I even set it up with like the foam and yeah, like this room was a guest bedroom for the longest time and we wanted to turn it into a music room and finally did it for this EP and it feels good because I've always done my demos on like in my bedroom with my mic in my hand. So like it felt really good to just be alone for the process and like
Hmm.
work on it and get it until I like really loved it and yeah, it was really nice.
Nice. So like was there like separation from all the instruments or was it literally just like mic everything, put everything into a line on the floor?
So we were all in the same room, and then I was in like a makeshift like booth, but it was like the like those walls, the sound dampening walls
Yeah.
there. But we could all see each other, and we were all pretty much in the same room together. So
Yeah, I think that's the best way to record. Like that's what they do. Like in Nashville when they have like those pro bands that back all the artists. Like they're in the room with you, and you feel the energy more when you can play with your band. So that's definitely a great way to do it. Now take me through your songwriting process. Like how does a song come together for you?
it really depends. Like sometimes I'll have a title or like concept idea first. That's usually how it works. Like
Hmm.
I'll be feeling a certain way for a while and be like, I really want to write a song about this specific feeling. And then I'll like strum something on the guitar and hum and gibberish random melodies.
Okay.
The words don't usually come out right away. Like I'll hum something and then maybe one word will come out and I'm like, ooh, I like the sound of that word, so I'm gonna base this verse off of this word. I really like to go like phonetically and how things sound at first, and then I kind of build the lyrics around that.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to do it. It's something that I've just kind of started doing. Like I read Jeff Tweedy in his book How to Write One Song talks a lot about that. That's one method that he uses. How did you develop your songwriting skill, your songwriting voice?
I think just doing it as often as I could. And like last year, one of my goals was to start writing with other people. So it's been kind of interesting to see how other people write songs as well and
Hmm.
like kind of trying to look at songs from a different perspective and like let go of some of your habits or routines in the way you do things. Like, for example, like as a like folk slash soft rock singer-songwriter, if I'm writing with a pop artist, I kind of have to switch my brain to like, I be more hooky, for example, or like pop music is going to be a different type of structure from like folk, which is maybe more storytelling based.
Hmm.
So it's like stuff like that where like you kind of like learn to have a different brain depending on like who you're writing with and what
Hmm.
the style is. So it's been kind of a fun exercise to like experiment with different styles.
Cool. Now, how do you feel about like I feel like it's been kind of on people's minds a lot lately. How do you feel about the artificial intelligence songwriting phenomena that we're seeing these days?
Yeah, I'm a big hater. I'm a big hater, I'm not gonna lie. No, it's weird because definitely when like ChatGPT became a thing, I definitely used it to like refine emails or stuff like that, like
Sure, sure.
stupid shit like that. But I think as it's gone on and the more I've seen it develop, the less I like the idea of using any of it at all because well, for one, it's terrible for the planet, which I'm
Yeah.
like, well, we're already not doing well on that, so
Hmm.
let's not make it worse. But it's also just like the cool thing about music is like connecting with humans and collaborating with humans and learning and growing and like evolving yourself as a person, as a writer. And I'm like, you lose all of those aspects by generating your music. And it's like even the way AI is integrated in the music industry beyond like generating the music is just it's a lot, and I don't really know like where it's gonna go, and it's definitely scary from an ethical like standpoint and like laws and copyright and all that. And I've been surprised by like people sending me a remix of my music, but it was like AI done, so like it's an
Mm.
AI voice, so it's not me anymore.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't like that. I was like, please don't do that. No, it's very strange, and it feels a little bit insulting also, I think. Like
Sure.
as an artist, like I work really hard to like write good music, and it definitely feels like it's like my part is like diminished by that when you take a song of mine and like replace it with an AI voice. So like, all right, I've worked really hard on making my voice sound like that, and I've worked really hard on writing those lyrics. I don't know why we need to replace me with an AI vocalist.
And
Got it.
and that's part of the reward of songwriting is you've put all this hard work into your craft and all these years, and to reduce it to a robot, like I just don't understand why people like it's basically like, like a get rich quick scheme, but with music, and it's just there's no artistic merit, there's no like I it's cheating at writing music. I can't understand it.
Well, I'm also like a little bit grateful that I'm putting out this project when I am, like in this era of AI, because like the big thing with this project was that I didn't want it to be perfect. I wanted it to be
Right.
raw. Like that's why we did it in a whole like one take type of format. Like you're gonna hear imperfections. You're gonna hear my cat meowing in the background.
I'm
Like
gonna be listening for that.
yeah, so it's like stuff like that that makes it human. Like how are we gonna differentiate AI music from human music is the imperfection, is the like rawness and the
hmm
like the bad vocal takes or whatever it is. So yeah, I'm glad that I put it out in a way that's like not overly melodined and not like structurally perfect in every aspect.
Sure, and like a good example of that is Bob Dylan in his early recordings. You can hear like his cardigan buttons knocking on his guitar a little bit. Like it definitely the imperfections. I think people are coming to realize that imperfections are what makes a good piece of art and what makes it like just a more personal kind of thing. Like yeah, I don't want to hear flash and glitz and packaging. I want to hear the real thing.
Exactly.
What do you think the future holds in store for you?
I don't know. I've been living really in the moment lately.
hmm
Um, Things have been like going well in ways that I didn't necessarily expect. Sometimes like you look at your streaming numbers and you're like, ugh, this is not going anywhere for me.
Yeah,
But if you really look beyond that, which I think like art is way more than just streaming numbers, and you can like be a successful artist beyond whatever your online numbers are. And like my live shows have been doing really well, and I've been selling a bunch of vinyl, which is great because the EP hasn't come out yet. So if that's how I get to be successful, I'm happy with that too. And I just got into this program, RBC Music First Up, which is really fun too.
okay, tell me about that.
Oh yeah, that's through the RBC Music and Music Counts, and I've applied to this like two or three times.
Uh-huh.
But this year I was really surprised to get an email, and they've included me in it. It's kind of like the TD incubator and like the mentorship and all
Just
that.
different bank.
Yeah, exactly. And exactly. There's definitely more mentors and like more sessions, and like it's more of an involved process. Like we have like this presentation at the end of the program, and there's like an in-person week next May or something like that. So
hmm
it's going to be really a lot of fun, and like some of the people in there are from the TD incubator. Some people are like artists that I've been following for a while, so I'm really excited to be like surrounded by really talented people.
Very cool. Now is there a full-length album in the plans for maybe next year or?
I don't know about next year. I think I'm going to be pushing the CP for a while. I
Yeah.
definitely already have some single ideas
Okay.
for the next year. We'll see. Um But yeah, I think as a small artist, like it can be hard to like roll out and roll out and roll out and roll out. And with
Hmm.
like this like generation of like TikTok and social media, I feel like you can really maximize like music and your songs for like months. Like I pushed Got Away for like 6 or 7 months.
Oh wow.
And because like for people on their For You page, to them it's a new song. So it doesn't really, you should never really stop promoting your music, is what I'm saying.
True.
So so I'm
True.
like, I'm gonna push it as long as I can and keep posting like unreleased tidbits of songs and see how they do. But
Yeah.
I right now the focus is gonna be this EP.
Okay. Yeah, like I find that like artists kind of have like a one or the other kind of approach, like either release lots of singles or just put it all on an album. So you're more of the mindset of doing singles. Um, yeah, that's really neat. And you said that you're selling vinyl. Like, do you find that your physical merch sells is a good like revenue source and sells well? Like for
It has been like I would say I've been selling physical merch for like 3 years now,
Mhm.
and like the first batch I did were like t-shirts and some posters, and I was definitely scared that it wouldn't sell, and it took a while for the first batch. It took like maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
um, for like a short run, which is fine. You know, it sells eventually, which is what counts. But this year I've been really lucky, and people have been really supportive, and I've already sold over a quarter of my vinyl inventory,
Wow.
and I've only done 2 shows selling them. So I'm feeling very confident about that and really grateful that people are loving the music so far. So
Nice. So we've got July 10th at Art House with Graven. What other shows are coming up in the summertime in the near future?
that's actually the only one I have booked right now
Ah,
because I'm going to be taking a little hiatus on shows until I can book I'm hoping to book another full band show and make it like a big thing again. So that's kind of the plan for the next like year or so, is like book less often like smaller acoustic shows and more often the full band bigger experiences to get more people out.
well, Elizabeth Royal, thanks so much for joining me. That was great. Looking forward to seeing you play. It's going to be a fun night at the Art House Cafe, July 10th.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right, thanks again to Elizabeth Royal for joining me on the show today. CKCU presents Friday Night Folk, July 10th at Art House Cafe. She'll be playing there alongside Graven and myself, so it's going to be a great show. Come on down. It'll be your last chance to see her for a little while, according to Elizabeth. And don't forget to tell somebody about the podcast.